Hi, I'm Chris McLaughlin, SCADA and MES specialist from Vertec. Vertec is a world-class provider of industrial automation solutions, and we have poured our heart and soul into using Ignition for SCADA, MES, and IoT projects. The project for Room in the Inn was a homeless management information system, and you might not have heard of an HMIS before, but it's very common in the industry. And at its core, it is a system used to manage a whole homeless shelter and all of the programs that go along with that. And so somebody that is experiencing homelessness, it is tracking their journey and all the services and case notes and shelter stays and everything that goes along with that journey. It also takes care of providers and employers and volunteers and events.
I am Rachel Hester. I'm the Executive Director of Room in the Inn in Nashville, Tennessee. We are a single-sided services for individuals who are experiencing homelessness in our city. Every agency that serves the homeless has a homeless management information system that's built on compliance. So in the past, when we would purchase database systems, we were purchasing ones that were not built for us. They weren't capturing what we needed to do. They were helping us with data, but they weren't helping us with how we serve the end user.
My name is Martina Condren. I am the Operations Director here at Room in the Inn. So one of the main problems we had with off-the-shelf systems is that they were unable to give us the flexibility with a calendar or schedule. Not having the flexibility to decide what days we needed particular classes on or different congregations were coming to do winter shelter. That was really the main thing. However, once we started looking at those areas, we discovered there were other areas that could be simplified. And this is how Chris became involved with Room in the Inn.
I volunteered with Room in the Inn for multiple years now, and at one point was trying to help them expand their winter shelter program and realized that this is an impossible task with the way that the software systems are set up and the way that it's managed. And so in my stupidity or my altruism, whatever it was, I'm like, we need to build this all in Ignition, and volunteered to do that completely for free. We realized we needed help immediately. So reached out on LinkedIn, got a lot of people that were interested in the community, and then Inductive Automation actually stepped it up a notch and worked through the integrator program to help find even more companies. And then eventually I went on the forum and found anybody that was a top contributor and started getting them to volunteer.
So Chris at Vertec, he's got a worldwide community of developers. When he pitched this project to them, there was no hesitation in them signing up. As we know, homelessness is a worldwide problem. And so I think this is what really gave some legs to this project, and is why everybody was just so willing to step in and do their part.
This was a collection of over 150 volunteers for 2.5 years. And these volunteers are from all over the world, literally India, Australia, Sweden, Netherlands, all over the US, Ecuador, all working together on their nights and weekends to be able to accomplish this project. Room in the Inn has been running for many decades, and as a result, there were 4 major software packages as well as Excel and email that they were trying to run a very complex organization, and it just wasn't working. So Ignition comes in, bring it under one software package that takes on all of that functionality of an HMIS. An HMIS system is very different from SCADA. There's no real-time data, there's no time series, there are no process data flowing through it, no live controllers. But your HMIS system is also very similar to how an MES system would work. In that, I mean that there are dashboards, there are detail screens, there are KPIs, and there's whole tables full of data and a lot of relational data in the database.
We went through a lot of different names when we were trying to come up with one name for this system. And we landed on Discovery because it really encompasses everything that we're trying to do here. It's just discover who people are, to give them a voice, and to send them on their journey.
The name Discovery is really about discovering who the person is that we're serving, being curious about who they are and their story, thinking of them more than just a data element, as we may have had in the past. So now when a person experiencing homelessness trusts us with their information, it's very vulnerable, we are better serving them so they don't have to repeat it. We're also able to get the data that we need so that we can continue to make decisions about our next steps as an agency.
We're using Discovery to capture information about the people that use our services. In addition, we're able to identify classes, events, and our winter shelter program. And then we're also able to put in our volunteers. So we're able to capture the hours that our volunteers give to in service of people experiencing homelessness.
Colby and Inductive were so nice. They gifted the entire licensing package to this nonprofit. In this project, we used just core Ignition, so really focused on the perspective module, reporting module, and web dev. At its core, this is a database system with some intense UI on front of it. There isn't any real process controllers that we're connecting to, so focused on the database aspects of it and the way that it looks and feels. This is the discovery application for Room in the Inn and the main screen where you could look up any participant and see a record of what has been happening with them. There are previews so that you can see a history, as well as detailed screens that will show off more about any given participant, their history, as well as case notes and services. From there are many detailed screens of stores and storage bins and medications, as well as 13 shelters where you can see everybody that is checked in to every room and bed. You can see overviews, so I could click into any room and see who is logged in, as well as a history of it. The Winter Shelter is an entire application for managing over 200 congregations and their registrations, as well as a full schedule that can be used for checking in participants on any given night. Tons of reports to back it, as well as full provider sections, separated out into medical and law enforcement and community partners that they work with, as well as employees, vendors, a full volunteer management system with service history and volunteer reports, as well as an entire event section for helping to manage classes, as well as orientations and special events. So much that it doesn't fit into this short demo.
I think for our staff, they're understanding that data is more than just compliance, but it's also allowing them to help do their jobs better and to serve the people that they care about the most in the best way possible.
The big result of the project was staff user satisfaction. I've never seen our staff excited about data entry, and now I have people coming to me and saying, can I get more access? Can we do this? What if we did that? It's easy. They can have access to it from any computer in our agency. And so they are getting into it, they're putting in the information, they're putting it in correctly, and that in turn then allows us to see what the gaps are in our services and then step into those gaps and make sure that we are supporting the people who are experiencing homelessness.
As a result of this project, everything is more efficient. The daily tasks go quicker, there are tools for processes that were manual previously, all the data is in one system, so you don't have to try to combine it out in Excel. And on top of that, there is functionality for helping to manage programs that never had software tools to be able to help manage them, which makes their life easier and makes them be able to provide better care to participants.
So Room in the Inn is always growing. And I've started over 30 years ago, and the people that we served have changed dramatically over the years. And so this information is helping implement what we're going to do next as we're looking toward more housing. But who are the people we're serving? Is it a more aging population? Is it a population with more barriers? Currently, we're building housing for individuals with cognitive disabilities, and we may not have known that other than anecdotally before.
So much changes in 2 years. We showed it off at an incomplete stage, and then through another 2 years of development, brought it to completion. The system went live in October of 2022 and has been used by Room in the Inn every day since for running the entire organization. There are always plans to expand Discovery, and right now it's being done by one of the partners that was involved in the original development that's shifted over to long-term support. Would I love it if Room in the Inn got a developer and helped out? Yes, that would be awesome. But until they do, we've got their back, and we're going to continue adding features every single month.
We would like to thank Chris McLaughlin and the Veritech family. They have been so kind to us. We're not a tech company, we're a people company. And they have been so gracious and so nice to us, and not thinking that we were asking for the moon, and they gave us everything that we wanted.